Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification button so you get notifications of when I drop the new videos. I appreciate you guys all watching and the comments and stuff like that that I get every day. If I haven't got back to you, I will eventually. I just, got other things going on, but I will get back to you. Today, in this video, you're going to see a lot of pictures. People have asked me about how I got involved in the whole bike scene. So, I'll explain it. I already explained it before. You can watch this video, or you can go to look at the video that we did for Bagger Society. You can go to his YouTube page, Bagger Society, and you'll see a video that we did probably like, I don't know, 6 months ago. Here in the garage, and because he asked me the same thing. How did I get involved in this? So I'll run through it again, but it's not gonna be so as long as the one I did with him. But in this one, you're gonna see it'll flip flop back and forth from me to pictures, and these pictures are just me and people that I've met in this lifestyle. Of us just being all over the place, from Ventura County, San Diego. There's pictures of us in Kernville, Vegas, places of Palm Springs, places that we used to ride to a lot. So you're gonna see like a lot more pictures than you'll see of me talking. I'll put as many as I possibly can in there, but I think there's like a limit to what I can do. So anyways, just a kind of in a nutshell, I'll tell you how I got involved. And that was it started with Papa Joe Leva. He's from the Almani area. That's the first time I ever saw a bike like my bike, a Cholo style, Chicano style, or lowrider style, whatever you want to call it. That's the first time I ever saw a bike like that. I've never seen a Harley Davidson that looked like that. I've always seen just the regular stock Harley Davidsons, or the ones that, like the white dudes had with like flames and shit on them, or choppers. But I had never seen like a Chicano style lowrider Harley. And when I saw his, it was like I fell in love with it. I had never seen nothing like that before. I didn't know that bikes could sound like that. I thought when I heard it coming down the street, I thought it was an old bomb. And when he turned the corner and I seen that it was a Harley, or it was a motorcycle, I was shocked that it was so loud, and I didn't even know it was him. He pulled up on me at work and took his helmet off, and I was shocked at the bike. And from that point on, I didn't care about lowriders anymore, because I grew up around lowriders. I grew up around bombs and Impalas and shit like that. And I've had a few cars myself, and I was with a couple car clubs. But I didn't. Once I saw that bike, I was no longer interested in cars anymore. There was something about the bike that I needed to have one. That was in the early 2000s. I can't remember. It was the early 2000s though. And he used to tell me he can help me build one, because he used to build bikes in his garage. And at that time, he said it would cost anywhere from 10 to 15,000 that we could buy piece by piece. Rolling chassis and a motor, transmission, all that stuff, and just buy things little by little, put it together, and then I'd have a bike. But I was going through rough times back then, so I didn't have the money for that. So fast forward to 2015, I think it was, when I met Chava through my ex. Went to Chava's house one day for a party, and there was probably like 6 bikes lined up in front of his house, and he had a black street glide that was all choloed out. It was fishtails and shit. It was black. It was really clean. And then there was another one of his partners there, Sal. He had a bike like mine, but it was blue and white. And there was like few more bikes out there, and so I was out there just staring at these bikes, and Chow was like, "Yeah, that black was mine." So he started telling me like, "Hey, get a bike. We go hang out, we go riding, we go to Vegas, we go here, we go there. Hit bars and shit like that. Just us, the fellas." And he kept telling me, "Get a bike. When are you gonna get a bike?" Every time I see him, like, "You need to get a bike. When are you gonna get a bike?" So finally, I did. I never rode a bike like that before. I rode a dirt bike and a motorcycle, dirt bike and the quads, but I've never rode a motorcycle like a street bike or a Harley. So when I bought it, I almost wrecked it coming out of the driveway of the Harley dealership, the Pomona Valley Harley. I almost wrecked it into the island. I almost pulled a fucking Pee Wee Herman. And but I got it home, and I would take it around the block every day, just circling the block for a few days. I would do that, and then just little by little, I would take it further and further and further. First time I got on the freeway with Chava, and I think it was Chava and Sal. We went to the Long Beach swap meet, and I was afraid to get on the freeway. But, I got on the freeway, we got on the freeway, made it out there, and I started getting more comfortable. So after that, I would take off by myself early in the morning, get up 5 in the morning, get dressed, I'd take off, and go ahead and just get on the freeway. I would sometimes go down to 10, end up over there by Santa Monica, shoot down the 405 to the 22, cut across to the 55, come back to the 91, to the 71 or to the 15, come back up. One day I went up, just ended up in Idlewild, up in the mountains, and came back through Paris and Riverside, took the streets all the way home. I was gone for like 4 or 5 hours, but I was just getting used to the bike. And we just started riding everywhere. Like he said, we used to go all over the fucking place, man. Every weekend. It consumed my life, pretty much. The bike and being with the fellas, it took over and it consumed it was like kind of like a drug. It consumed my life. I was gone. Friday after work, come home, get dressed, I'm gone. Come home 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Then Saturday, same thing. Get up early in the morning, go take off with the fellas. We're gone all day. Like we take off, we go to San Diego, hit the fucking, hit the brewery over there, right there on, what's that, Logan Street. We go to Logan Street, party over there. Sometime we come back down to 5, end up in Orange County, party over there for a little while. End up in downtown LA somewheres, party over there for a while, shoot over to Katie Jake's up in West Covina, party over there, and come home 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it consumed me. Sunday, same thing. Get up, gone. Take out the Oxnard, go see the Rick and all the guys out there in Oxnard, hanging out there, whatever. We were going all over the fucking place. I started meeting a lot of people. I started the Instagram page right when I got the bike. And the Instagram page started blowing up. And people started to recognize me from Instagram. And so whenever I went somewhere, people would like, "Hey, are you Big Mike?" But yeah. So I started getting recognized everywhere I went. And people would invite me out to their areas. "Hey, come out here and come party with us." So we would go out there and party with other people. I started the shirt brand. I started that because I went to Harley to buy some shirts that had, Harleys on them, motorcycles. And they didn't have no shirts with our style of bikes on them. But yet we were one of the biggest consumers of their products, of their bikes. But you'll never go into a Harley dealership and see a Cholo style or a Chicano style bike on one of their shirts. Even though we're buying their bikes and buying their product, they don't put those kind of bikes on their shirts. So that's when I started to make my own shirts and put the Chicano style bikes on it. And I made some pretty good money doing it. I got a couple more shirts right now that I'm gonna be coming out with pretty soon. I got a couple of designs that's already made. They're done. Actually, I have like I'm probably sitting on like 10 designs right now that I have not put on shirts yet. But I got a couple more that just came to me that I just had done. And there's one that's being made right now. It's for the females though. It's just it's a shirt that I'm only gonna do for females. Put on like tank tops and you know the just the female shirts. No, I'm not gonna put on any male shirts. So I got that design being made right now. But yeah, so it consumed me. It consumed my life. Uh, can I say that it fucked up my last relationship? No, I think I fucked it all up. I fucked up that. Well, I was gone all the time. I was gone all the time, partying, me and the fellas every weekend for a couple of years, and but I was always out and about, so I was used to get accused of fucking doing shit that I wasn't doing. So after a while, I just finally got tired of being accused of doing shit that I wasn't doing out there on the streets with all the fellas. That I started to do it because I was like, fuck it. Well, you're already accusing me of doing it. You ain't going nowhere. You're still here, so might as well do it. So for like about a year, I was out there going wild and shit. You know what I mean? Having a good time with the fellas and meeting all kinds of women and shit like that. That's one thing about having a Harley is, you ain't even got to be single. You know what I mean? Just having a Harley. There's plenty of chicks out there. You can go to these events and shit like that. There's plenty of chicks on there that's willing to jump on the back of the bike. You know what I mean? Um, and they've been on so many fucking back seats. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it's easy to get. Um, you ain't even got to be that good looking of a guy to get some one of these broads to jump on the back of the bike. They just want to be seen on the back of the bike riding around. They want to take their little fucking their little videos and selfies on the back of the bikes and shit like that. So they're there. You know what I mean? It was so easy. It's like fishing in a fucking barrel when you go out there. For the most part, I paid no attention to those females. You know what I mean? If I was fucking around with females, it wasn't those fucking females. But yeah, they were out there, having a bite. And people used to say that shit too all the time. Like, you see how quick these chicks are willing to jump on the back of your bike. You know what I mean? And it's true. It's true. That's one thing about having a Harley, man. When you're new to it, when you're new to this lifestyle, it can consume you, man. It really will. Especially if you're hanging around with dudes like I was hanging around with that were down the ride constantly. Uh, it'll consume you, and it just sucks you in. Next thing you know, you're fucking partying every weekend. And for me, it got me. I was drinking like I got to the point I was drinking almost every single day. Um, the fucking what do you call it? The extracurricular activities, in the restroom, you know, uh, that shit was it was free everywhere you went. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, you're just partying like that too. I started getting involved in that a little bit. Doing the other kind of partying and shit. Because we're fucking riding around, we're partying all day. You know what I mean? And for 3 days straight. Yeah, we're coming home getting some sleep, but you get worn out. So next thing you know, you're you know what I mean? You're fucking in the fucking restroom, some dirty ass restroom doing fucking bumps with motherfuckers, and drinking all weekend, So you get it'll consume you if you allow it to. Then the women are there, you know what I mean? So it's like you got your bike, you got fucking the fucking Colombian nose nachos going around, you got beer, and you got broads, you know. It's very hard not to get consumed in all that shit. And so yeah, I got sucked into it pretty good, and until I met my wife, and then I just kind of slowed everything down. I wasn't doing other shit no more. I was still drinking and stuff like that. I still drink now, but not like I was back then. And I'm not all over the place like I was back then when I was, living that life like that. I had to slow that shit down, especially right now with the cancer and shit like that. I can't be really going that far, and people don't understand that. Hey, let's go ride, let's go out here. It's like, hey man, don't let's not forget that fucking cancer. I can't just ride to San Diego. By the time I get there, I'll be burnt the fuck out, and I still got to come back home 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? And so it's not like I could just take off and go far. I stay close enough to the house that if I do start getting tired, I'm not too far away. I can get myself home. Especially when I got my wife on the back of the bike and shit, and then, I don't. With her on the back of the bike, I don't feel comfortable riding with other people no more, like I used to. I've seen people go down with their women on the back of their bikes and shit. Me and my wife saw it like 2 weekends in a row. We were with people, and our friends went down and fucked themselves up pretty good, and them and their wives. So ever since then, I was kind of like really worried, and leery about things, and how I was riding with my wife on the back of the bike. So. Now I kind of like take my time doing what I'm doing, and I'd rather, if I'm gonna go somewhere, I'd rather go just, if I'm gonna be with my wife, I'd rather go with my wife. And if I do go with people, I usually stay in the back of the pack. I don't ride up in front. I don't ride in the middle. I'll stay in the back in case anything happens. I always leave myself the distance to be able to get stopped. That's how I avoided the last two accidents with my friends. I was in the back, and had good enough space to be able to stop. And so, but usually when I go out with my friends, when we take off and we go riding, if we do, I usually leave by myself. I usually tell my wife, let's get the fuck out of here before everybody wants to leave. And I'll just tell them, I'm going to take off. I'll see you guys later on. And that way I can cruise at home. I don't know. I'm just more cautious when I got my wife on the back of the bike and I see other guys that have their women on the back of the bike. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? They'll do 100 miles an hour, not caring. I mean, me, I think about myself. I don't give a fuck. If I'm by myself, I don't give a fuck. I'll do 100, 105, 110. I don't give a shit. But when I got my wife on the back of the bike, I don't be doing that dumb shit. You know what I mean? Because, I always think about what happens if I do get into an accident. It's usually the passenger that's going to fucking get hurt, really bad. And I've seen that in the last two accidents. It was the woman on the back that got fucked up really bad. One of them broke her back. And so, I have to think about my wife's family, not just my wife, but my wife's family. Like I would get blamed if I was to hurt my wife on the back of the bike. So I don't be doing that dumb shit, racing in and out of traffic and stuff like that. I try to take my time. So when I do go somewhere, I'll leave. Me and my wife will go off on our own. Like, come on, let's go. We go get something to eat, and we'll take our time getting home. And that way I ain't got to follow no pack. I want to leave when I want to leave. And so, I went from one extreme. I was very extreme when I was doing it to being more mellow. And so I really don't ride that much anymore. I'll ride around here by my house. Sometimes I'll just get on the bike and I'll be gone for an hour or whatever. When my wife's at work, I'll just take off. I don't call nobody, but hey, let's go for a ride. I kind of like being by myself because I ain't got to follow nobody or nobody's got to follow me, and I could just take off, and it's more for me. It's more relaxing. I'm just cruising it, and so yeah, I do ride, but I do it by myself. Maybe one day I'll get back into riding a lot, but as of right now, it was a phase that I was going through, I guess. I don't enjoy it as much as I did before. It's the same old shit. That's what it is. My buddies that ride, they ain't doing nothing different. They ain't going nowhere different. They're going to the same old fucking hangouts that we used to hang out before. They're going to Cook's Corner, which is, I've been there before. Been there a lot of times. Big deal. Long Beach Swap Meet. Big deal. You know what I mean? It's all these little events that go on. you see the same old people. It's the same old people, same old thing, same old bullshit. You know, it's so I kind of stay away. And then when I do go around, it's I do have a good time because I haven't seen nobody for a while. But when I was doing it every weekend, I was seeing the same fucking people Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Every week, we'd end up at the same places, the same events, the same bars. Um, it wasn't you couldn't go anywhere without running into people. You know, you go to Tom's Farm, and I run into a bunch of people over there. Next thing you know, we get into their pack, and boom, we're gone, and we're headed to you know Keg Sluggers or some shit in Buena Park, wherever it's at, Westminster. Head over there. You know, it's always the same shit. They're not doing anything different. They see each other every weekend at the events. The seasons come up, like right now it's Halloween seasons. You know, it's fall, so you got everything's gonna be about these trunk or treats. You know, all these little car clubs do their trunk or treat things. You know, so they hand out candy. Every weekend's gonna be some fucking trunk or treat somewheres. You know, it's the same old shit every year. You know, then you got the turkey drives that'll be coming up for Thanksgiving. Then you got the Christmas run that'll come up in Elysian Park. I mean, the seasons. When the seasons come, you know what's coming. You know, and after a while, just like, I've done that. I've been there. I've done that. I was doing that for 5 years straight. You know, it's like I don't want to do that anymore. You know, my partner next door, my boy Ruben, hey, hey, you want to go over here? No. Hey, you want to go here? No. Been there, done that. You know, what's so exciting? I'm gonna go over there and see the same fucking people I was seeing for years. It's who gives a fuck? I've done it already. Do something. You're not doing anything different. It's always the same old shit. So I kind of lost a little bit of interest in it. You know what I mean? Because it got boring. Like everything else, even when I was in the car club scene, it gets boring after a while. You know, what more can you do to your fucking car? You ain't done in your car that I ain't seen before. And the same thing with the bikes. You know, what have you done to your bike that I have not seen before? You know, it's the same old shit, different day. You know, so it's boring. You know, I'd rather be off my own, doing my own thing than being in a group of people. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, that's how I got involved in the whole bike scene. Um, I still like it though, you know. I still like it. I just got bored, I guess, you know. And then with the cancer and all that stuff, I can't really do too much. So, um, you know, but it's different. It's different. It's a whole different fucking scene, man. And like I said, it'll consume you if you're new to it and you get a bike. Um, Shit, man. If you're in a relationship, then involve your woman in it. You know what I mean? Involve your woman in it because if you don't and you let it consume you, it'll take over your life. This whole bike scene, it could take over your life. You know what I mean? And because you're gonna have so much fun. It's fun. It is fun. When I was doing it, when I was really into it, it was fun. I used to have so many good times, man. And it's. I guess you're living on the edge. You know what I mean? You're fucking coming home at 2 in the morning, you know, 10, 11 guys, 12 guys. You're coming, you know, back from San Diego. You know, you're freezing fucking cold. You know, it could be 2 in the morning. You're on the fucking 15 freeway. It's cold as fuck, you know, and you're drunk as shit. And it's just you're living dangerously. You know, you're riding back home 100 miles an hour on the fucking freeway. You know, all these guys. There was times where I didn't even know how I fucking made it home. One particular night was coming back from a place called Revolution in Fullerton. We were fucked up. There was about 8 of us. I threw an event over there because I used to throw biker events and threw an event over there at Revolution, and we got fucked up because since I was throwing these events, I was able to drink for free. But not only that, people were buying me drinks all fucking night. They had to fucking follow me home. They had to follow me, and my boy Louie and Manny had to follow me home from Fullerton back to Upland because they were like you were from one side of the freeway to the next, just cross the freeway. You know what I mean? I do remember leaving Fullerton, and when I got onto the interchange from the 91 to the 57 North, I almost went off the side of the bridge. I almost hit the wall, coming too fast, and I was like that, just along that K rail, and I just don't even know how I got home. They were like, we had to follow you all the way back to your house because you were fucking going from one side of the freeway to the next, and we were doing like 100 miles an hour. Another time, Pomona cops didn't want us over there in their fucking city, and they were. I threw an event over there, and the Pomona cops they don't like bikers over there, you know, and so when we had all these bikes parked in front of this place, we were partying out there, and they started showing up, and they started hiding down the street, on the side streets, waiting for people to leave so they can start pulling people over. You know, they were just looking for reasons to fuck with you because if they fuck with you, then you would never come. You wouldn't come to their city and drink and shit like that. You know what I mean? So they were pulling people over, and they pulled my buddy over, and they got him for his helmet, and somebody had to go get his bike for him because they were going to tow it. You know, they're just being dicks. And so I told my partner, I said, hey, when we leave, let's leave in a group. That way they can't catch us all. So let's leave in a fucking group. So it was about 8 of us. We got together, like, fuck, let's get the fuck out of here. Because the cops there was too many cops around there. So we got on the bikes. We took off. We were on Gary, going toward the 10 from downtown Pomona. And when we get past Holt, fucking cop comes off the side street. There was like 3 or 4 cops in one SUV. They were waiting for people to leave, pull up behind us, and hit the lights on us. And I was like, fuck it, let's just go. So we took off, and they chased us to the freeway. We get on the fucking freeway, and me and my boy Manny, as soon as we got on the freeway, we got into 6th gear, and we were gone, doing over 100 miles an hour on the freeway, cutting through the traffic and shit like that, getting away from the cops. And we used to be fucked up doing shit like that. So yeah, it was hell of a fucking adventure, man. When I was doing that kind of shit, we lived on the edge, and luckily, you know, nothing bad had ever happened to me. Luckily, nothing bad had happened to any of my partners. It's funny that I was looking through the pictures the other day that I'm gonna put on this video, and I do have partners on there that are no longer here. They have died, not due to the bikes, but you know, other things. There's quite a few pictures that I'm gonna post up with. Those guys are no longer with us. And since I met these guys between 2016 and now, you know, there's quite a few of them that they're no longer with us, and I trip out because their phone numbers are still in my phone. I never erased their phone numbers out of my phone. So yeah, we had a lot of good times though, man. And you know, like I said, maybe one day if I get better completely, I do plan on buying another bike. I don't plan on selling my bike, but I do plan on getting another one as soon as I go back to work. Hopefully, I'll go back to work in November, December time. Between November, December, hopefully I'll go back to work. And once I do that, then I'm gonna start looking to go buy another bike, more of a bagger, you know, just to keep it stocked so I can go further distances, you know, and be more comfortable. And that way, my wife is more comfortable because I know it's not comfortable for her on the back of that bike. She's pretty much sitting on the fender. So that's my plan, to buy another bike, and just keep this one just for around town, fucking around and shit, or leave it here in the garage and as a display for the fucking barrage, you know. But yeah, that's how I got involved in it. If you're gonna get involved in it, just know what you're getting involved in, you know, and also the people you hang around with. In this biker lifestyle, you know, it's always best to mind your own fucking business. You know, you can get booted out of this shit real quick. That's one thing that's also different than the lower scene. I know of people that got their asses booted out of the scene. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about because they're from bike clubs. We're not talking about bike clubs. We're just talking about solo riders. You know that that end up having issues with other solo riders and shit. And next thing you know, every time you go somewhere, people want to fight with you and shit like that, you know. And I've seen people have sold their fucking bikes and just completely walked away from this whole thing because it's like it's no fun to them no more. They can't go nowhere without people wanting to fucking whoop their ass, you know, because they have big mouths or because they got themselves involved in shit they shouldn't get themselves involved in. You know, it's a lot different than anything else. It's a lot different than lowriding. You know, it's you can get your ass booted out of this shit real quick. And so, you know, especially if you're gonna get involved in the motorcycle scene, mind your own business. You know, you'll meet some good people, but you also meet some fucked up people too in it. But it is fun, um, especially if you're single. If you're single, the alcohol's flowing and the women are there. You know what I mean? So if you do it, have a good time. You know, but just like I said, mind your own business, do your own thing, and just have a good time. So with that being said, thank you guys again for watching the videos. Got any questions, hit me up. You can hit me up right here or on Instagram under the same name, Chicano Style Bikers. Um, I think it's also the same on TikTok. Yeah, ask me anything you want, and I go ahead and I'll respond to it. I'll send you a message, or maybe I'll do a video on it. So anyway, thank you, and I'll be talking to you guys.